Since the dawn of time, there has been a war for the souls of epic gamers as to which piece of plastic they are going to play their games on from which company that cares little to nothing about them. It's an honorable war. It's seen many soldiers fall. It's seen many laptop and computer screens get destroyed. It's seen many Reddit and Twitter accounts get banned. And this war is called the console wars. And it's fought by your neckbeard Redditors and epic gamers on Twitter and bots all over the internet and forums. It's fought by the most brain-dead 40-year-old virgins in society, and it is a nasty war. So today we're going to talk about how Xbox is actually trying to attempt to fight this war once again. Now personally, I'm pretty neutral in terms of the console war, as I have both an Xbox and a PlayStation, so I think it's pretty idiotic to actually fight over which one, considering the differences are fairly minimal and come down really to which games you like to play. But today we're going to go over why Xbox has a much more compelling argument this time around. Like I said, I'm not trying to convince you to go one way or the other. It's totally up to you based off of what you value as a consumer, but I'm still going to talk about Xbox because why not? So as always, if you do enjoy today's video, make sure you leave a nice, thick, and juicy like, and if you want more content like this, then make sure you hit that big red sexy subscribe button, as this is not my usual type of content, but it's always good to experiment. So let's talk about the console wars. So Xbox has purchased Bethesda, and you know this if you haven't been living under a rock the past a week or something. It's a pretty big deal in the gaming world because there are some pretty large titles underneath Bethesda. I should say ZeniMax Studios because that's really the parent company of a lot of these games. And so underneath this umbrella, you have games like Dishonored, the Elder Scrolls series, Fallout, Doom, The Evil Within, Prey, Wolfenstein, and an unseen title in Starfield, which is supposed to be kind of like Fallout in space. And so this is a pretty solid lineup of upcoming games that will probably mostly be exclusive to the Xbox and PC crowd. Now, of course, while this is awesome, we probably won't see the fruits of this for another year or two. I know that if you are a fan of these kinds of games and you're purely considering an Xbox for this, I would say maybe wait until a new title of these comes out to purchase one. You know, sometimes they go on sale, the price may drop on the actual console or whatnot, but if you are planning to purchase an Xbox on day one, not only do you have these games coming in the future, but you do have a few other perks, including the Game Pass, which has hundreds of games for like $10 a month. EA actually just took their EA Access library, or I guess it's EA Play now, added that to the Game Pass library. So now you have even more games in there. So like myself, if you enjoy games like Battlefield or Star Wars Battlefront, or really any of the Star Wars games in general, then you'll be able to find those now on the Game Pass. And that's a really cool kind of thing for people who just enjoy playing a lot of different games. There's also some hidden gems in the Game Pass, games like The Outer Worlds, which a lot of people have been really enjoying since it came out. It's kind of like Fallout in space. I don't know, I haven't played it, but that's what people have told me. Overall, you have a lot going for the Xbox in terms of minor features as well, such as backwards compatibility, which PlayStation is starting to dabble in, and a lot of PlayStation's exclusives are going to be backwards compatible, and some are even receiving remasters like Spider-Man PS4. But Xbox has been doing this for quite a while, and they're going to have pretty much all their games they've ever created made backwards compatible, so anything back to the original Xbox is going to be playable on the Xbox Series X. So if you like some older titles like the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 or maybe the NCAA football games, then you'll be able to come back and play those games on your new Xbox rather than just let them sit and collect dust. Now, another thing with backwards compatibility is it's not just games, it also comes down to controllers, and I know this is going to be for a more niche crowd, but if you're like myself and you have an Xbox Elite controller or the Elite Series 2, then that is also going to be backwards compatible and you can use it on the Series X. Now, this is a very nice thing because these kinds of controllers are quite expensive, and buying an entirely new one that is a quarter of the price of the console itself just does not seem like the best way to go about things. Now, obviously on the PlayStation side, the new consoles are going to give you a controller that will work with the console, but if you're someone who purchased maybe a SCUF controller because you're a more competitive style player, then that's not going to work on the PS5. And I do think that that kind of stuff is kind of anti-consumer, just because people have invested a lot in controllers like that to be able to play games. Obviously, Call of Duty has a partnership with PlayStation for timed exclusive events and modes in their games. So the fact that things like SCUF controllers, which are almost designed for games like Call of Duty, won't be backwards compatible with the new PS5s is a little bit disappointing in its own right, whereas on the other hand, you have things like the custom Xbox controllers as well as the Elite controllers that will be backwards compatible with the Series X and work with them. It's just one of those little things that's very nice. A lot of times with more higher end products, you want to be able to appreciate the details. And this is one of those details that, while it's not a huge thing for a huge part of the customer base, it's just one of those nice things to have, to where you feel like you really are getting the value for your money. Overall, I have to say that as a gaming console and all the things it offers, I do think Xbox is much more worth considering this time around. Not only is it the most powerful console, you do get tons of things like the Game Pass, you get the backwards compatibility with old games and controllers, and now you have a bunch of exclusives coming from studios like Bethesda and really anyone under that ZeniMax Media umbrella. Again, like I said in the beginning, this isn't a video to convince you to try and purchase one console or the other. This is just me presenting what I see from each console, and as a consumer, why you may get more bang for your buck just going with an Xbox if you are someone who just enjoys a more kind of casual gaming experience where you want to experience tons of different games. Granted, I do think the PS5 is going to have some just drop dead incredible freaking exclusives like God of War 5, the new Spider-Man Miles Morales, Horizon Forbidden West, and many others, and that may be worth a video all on its own. If you want to hear that type of content from me, then let me know in the comments down below. But like I said, I do think Xbox has a much more compelling argument this time around for a much larger audience of gamers. So hopefully we do see a much more competitive console wars this time around. I'm looking forward to see some cringy posts on Twitter and Reddit. I really can't wait to see those. So if you do follow me on Twitter, which you should, definitely send me those just so I can look at them and laugh. And I will see you guys in the next video.